The Carolina Panthers are building something special, folks. Yes, I've been a fan of this Panthers offseason thus far, and I think this team is about to accomplish a whole ton as soon as this season. Here's a snapshot of what the Panthers have done. First and foremost, they hired their head coach, Frank Reich. They traded for the number 1 pick. More on that later on. They signed running back Miles Sanders, signed wide receiver Adam Thielen, signed tight end Hayden Hurst, signed safety Von Bell, signed quarterback Andy Dalton, re-signed center Bradley Bozeman, signed defensive tackle Shai Tuttle, and they just recently signed wide receiver DJ Chark. Yes, it was talked about for a while. It's finally come to fruition. The Carolina Panthers bring in yet another weapon on their newly revamped offense. DJ Chark will now be paired with Adam Thielen as this Panthers team now has some new shiny toys for their new quarterback that they will draft very, very soon. Before we continue on with this video, guys, if you could do me a solid favor, Panthers fans and NFL fans, hit a like on this video. It does help the algorithm a ton. And please subscribe to the channel for more Panthers and NFL content. We're trying to hit 5K, so if you guys can help me hit that, that would be greatly appreciated. Keep it locked and loaded on this channel throughout the entire offseason for all things football. So the Carolina Panthers are in the midst of a very transformative offseason, and they now have a revamped offense to look forward to. The team vaulted up to the number 1 pick at this year's draft, and it is a lock that they will take a quarterback. Whoever it is, that quarterback will have plenty of weapons around him. The latest addition to their offense is wideout DJ Chark. Welcome to the Carolina Panthers. He has just agreed to a 1-year deal with the franchise, the team announced. You look at Chark, he visited the club last week, and he had been rumored to go to the Panthers with the offseason, and now will be with a collection of new arrivals on this offense. The Panthers have jumped headfirst into free agency by not only acquiring Chark, but also adding fellow wideout Adam Thielen, tight end Hayden Hurst, and running back Miles Sanders. This is quite the makeover for Carolina at the receiver position after the Panthers shipped their star pass catcher DJ Moore to Chicago in that blockbuster trade to acquire the number 1 overall pick. So along with these new pieces to the offense, the Panthers have also brought aboard a new regime, like I mentioned, hiring Frank Reich as their new head coach earlier this offseason. And Frank Reich, one of my favorite coaches, and if there's one man who can turn this team's fortunes around, I believe it's him. So going back to who the Panthers now have in Chark, this will be his 3rd stop in 6 years in the NFL. He was initially drafted by the Jags in the 2nd round of the 2018 NFL Draft, and there he enjoyed a 1,000-yard Pro Bowl season in 2019. His final season for the Jags in 2021 was limited to just 4 games due to injury, and he eventually found his way to Detroit in free agency last offseason after inking a 1-year, $10 million deal. For the Lions, Chark put up solid totals when he was on the field. In 11 games, he caught 30 balls for 502 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he'll likely be used as a key deep threat in Carolina's offense. As you look at Chark, he will now join a Panthers wide receiver room that consists of Thielen, Marshall, and former Jags teammate Laviska Shenault. So I really like this signing for Chark by the Carolina Panthers. I think this is a very underrated pickup, and you look at what the Panthers are doing, they are now building a solid offense, and now their biggest move for this franchise will come on NFL Draft Day when the team decides which quarterback will usher this team's new era of football. So when you do look at Frank Reich's history, it does lead me to believe that CJ Stroud will be the man for the Panthers, and that will be his preferred choice. Stroud isn't the fastest QB in this class. He doesn't have the strongest arm in this class, and he's not the best improviser, but he's the best pure passer in this draft class by a mile. And at Pro Day, CJ Stroud impressed a lot of people, and he was impressing the Panthers brass that was all over him. And this brass included Frank Reich, David Tepper, Josh McCown, and Jim Caldwell, who all seemed to be a big fan of CJ Stroud's game. Now, the big advantage Stroud has in his favor are his mechanics, his arm strength, and his ability to put the ball wherever he needs to and wherever he wants. And needless to say, that is what you need in a quarterback in today's NFL. And you look at what CJ Stroud did on Elite Pro Day, his performance was pretty stellar. I mean, he threw 55 times for the most part. He was clean, precise, and he did showcase a big arm that the Panthers could very well bring in in. And if the Panthers do go out and draft CJ Stroud, then they will have their QB for the future. I have no doubt in my mind that both Stroud and Bryce Young are going to go on to have successful careers in the NFL, but I really do like Stroud. Seeing more of his game and just picturing how he would fit with this Panthers offense, I do think CJ Stroud will ultimately go number one by the Carolina Panthers. At first, I thought it was going to be Bryce Young, but like many people, they have now changed their mind, and I do think the Panthers will ultimately go with Stroud. But I know Panthers fans are excited about the possibility of CJ Stroud coming in to this team and now having some new weapons to throw to. So yeah, we'll see ultimately who the Panthers elect to select at number one. But overall, I really like what this Panthers team has done, and they can't be overlooked. I know this Panthers team has been clowned a ton, and people are still saying that they got fleeced by the Bears and all that, but look, the Panthers clearly have their eye for who they want at number one, or else they would not have made that big trade for this year's number one pick. They would have just simply waited another year to get their quarterback. So the Panthers clearly have their eyes on the target here, and for as much as people want to poke fun at the Panthers and say that this team's not going to be very good and this team's going to be one that isn't going to get up to much of anything, I mean, I think this Panthers team can be a low-key dangerous team. I really do. I think this Panthers team has an opportunity to do something special as soon as this season, and they can make some noise. Remember, nobody is going to have the Panthers on their radar going into the season, so that has a perfect opportunity for the Panthers to stun the NFL and get off to a great start. And I do think the division, which, let's call it for what it is, every team in that division will have a chance to win it, just for as bad as that division has gotten since Tom Brady retired. I do think it's going to come down to the Panthers or the Saints, and I actually like the Panthers' chances when it comes to winning that division. So I think what the Panthers have done is going to work out wonderfully for this team. Now, I do think it's going to take time. Anytime you got new guys coming on a team, there is going to be an adjustment period. You got to get on the same page. You got to make sure the chemistry is down pat. But after the growing pains, once the Panthers have their quarterback, they integrate him to this offense, this Panthers team will be cooking. And I do think the Carolina Panthers will be able to make some noise this season. So I'm excited to see what this new look Panthers team looks like, and I really want to see what they can accomplish. And yeah, I'm just as excited as everybody else, or curious, I should say, to see what they're going to do with that number one overall pick. But of course, it's going to be a quarterback. It's just going to come down to which quarterback they take. But Panthers fans, let me know your thoughts. Which quarterback do you think the Panthers are going to ultimately draft? What has your reaction been to these moves the Panthers have made? Are you excited about the Carolina Panthers, present and future? Let me know your full thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, guys, hit a like on the video. It helps it a ton. And please subscribe to the channel for more Panthers and NFL content. I'll definitely have more Panthers uploads on the way, so you want to keep it locked and loaded as we try to hit 5K on this channel. That is it for me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Lucas signing off, and I'll catch you all again in the next video.